Why to get back on the way? I lost my mind. Fuck it, I'ma go find it again. Yeah, I'ma find it again. She said, what happened to you? I say, what happened to me? I don't went out of your league. I'm worried, got that TV. She said, what happened to you? I wear my heart on my sleeves now. Had to get back on my feet. VVS diamonds on freeze. Yeah, tell my mama I no longer run from my problems. Toe to toe with demons, it's a threesome I involved. I just go and get it. It's a stick up, not a robbery. This is not a yeah. This is not a yeah. Tell my mama I no longer run from my problems. Toe to toe with demons, it's a threesome I involved. I just go and get it. It's a stick up, not a robbery. This is not a yeah. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. I elevated 2 floors out from where I used to be. No matter the pressure, when I'm taking over pennies, only time I be on my knees. Bon appetit, I could do this in my sleep. Pick the pussy out my teeth. Bon appetit, I could do this in my sleep. Pick the pussy out my teeth. She said, what happened to you? I say, what happened to me? I don't went out of your league. I'm worried, got that TV. She said, what happened to you? I wear my heart on my sleeves now. Had to get back on my feet. VVS diamonds on freeze. Yeah, tell my mama I no longer run from my problems. Toe to toe with demons, it's a threesome I involved. I just go and get it. It's a stick up, not a robbery. This is not a yeah. This is not a yeah. Tell my mama I no longer run from my problems. Toe to toe with demons, it's a threesome I involved. I just go and get it. It's a stick up, not a robbery. This is not a yeah. This is not a joke. This is not a joke.
Girl, you better than them, no. This your vanilla body, oh. See how your body sets, make her put fire. Makalakuta dinner. Omo lokpe, badam bougie. For your body, make you rewind down. Omo lokpe, hammer morning. My sweetie, chinapi. No hear them talk. Okono, makalakuta dinner. Okono, the way I'm feeling for you. Okono.
Right. Let me adjust here a little bit. Okay, so this is high tech. Amma, ask me anything about high tech. It's been a while since I live streamed like this. Last time, usually what I do, recent days, is I just post AI translated materials from my Polish channel. So probably, those that, let's say, have seen my materials, only those translated materials can notice I sound a little bit different. But this is because, yeah, that translation is never perfect. And it's a little bit glitchy sometimes, slightly. Not that much, but a little bit. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, then feel free to ask them. You can ask them on Telegram group. You can ask them on X directly. I will spend a little bit of time here with you. And I will wait for questions if there is any. In the meantime, I'll be discussing briefly what is up, why you should get involved in high tech, why is it such an opportunity, and why is it different than what you used to know? Because recent months, I would say, but to be more precise, recent month, not months, month, I have learned a little bit more about the meme coin space. Because at the beginning, at the very beginning, Hightech was a meme coin. I was, let's say, announcing it as a meme coin, but as a matter of fact, right now, it's not a meme coin anymore. Why? Because it has real functionality. Meme coins, generally, they've got nothing to offer. They are based on a hype, on initial hype, and that's what I have learned. Above all, last 30, 40 days, that everyone is aiming for that initial hype, right, on the launch. And well, I understand exactly what's the reason, because it's very difficult to maintain the momentum. This is the chart of Hightech. You write it h173k, so it's lead speech, as they call it. And yeah, so most of the coins that you will stumble across, they are count on this, right? On this first initial launch pump, right? And after that, it's very difficult to maintain it. So the dump comes and the coin dies, right? And here on Hightech, it actually happens the same way. The dump has come after the first pump, but because this is a real project, not a temporal thing, so that's why it got bought up, and it continues, right? It is still in existence, and it has more and more to offer. And as of now, thanks to Hightech Wallet, which is this one here, it offers literally the strongest functionality in all of the crypto, right? Which is smart contracts. I mean, let's say the only thing that I could throw at Hightech right now, if somebody wants to be grumpy, is that it still has a little bit too low liquidity. It's enough to actually use smart contracts, especially for Africa. I think for Africa, this project is the most, let's say, attractive. Why? Because Africans do not operate with very large sums. I mean the average African. So that's why this liquidity that Hightech delivers is actually enough to literally use it. And the volatility here, you can get impression that this is quite volatile, but as a matter of fact, you have to be very unfortunate to stumble upon one of those, big red candles. Like from one day to another, there is not really that much of a movement. What is MUD actually, this functionality? Well, it delivers you a safe environment for transacting through the internet or at distance with somebody you completely do not know. And if you watch the Hightech tutorial, which is available, if you go, for example, to the official group and you go to Hightech Wallet full video tutorial section, which I've got no idea why right now it is displaying like it's nothing there. But this is the official, generally speaking, this is the official Telegram group, right? Which is in my bio. You can find the link there to it. And then if you go to Hightech Wallet full video tutorial, which is this one here, in the pinned comment. I've got no idea why is it displaying right now empty space here. But anyway, there you have a full tutorial explaining how to use it, how actually MUD contracts are made, how to receive a MUD contract, how to create MUD contract, and then you can use it for a real world scenario, right? Like you can literally pay in Hightech to somebody and be sure that you're not going to get scammed, right? Everything is explained in the tutorial. Actually, the same tutorial is on the official website. that could be even easier way to find it. You go to h173k coin official website pages.dev, and you just scroll down. Here are all of the tutorials, the full walkthrough, as you see, tutorial of my English YouTube channel, global YouTube channel, and also PDF files as well, as you see here. And PDF files explain you literally step by step, like how to buy high-tech step by step, how to set up high-tech wallet step by step, because you must prepare it for work, right? This wallet here, you can install it on every single device. It's written in a technology that is called PWA, meaning that it does not need an application store, meaning that it will not have to comply with whatever stupid rules that are mandatory for all of the other applications. And therefore it will not get kicked out from anywhere, right? Because I mean, for a project, imagine you go into a project, you let's say invest heavily into a project that gets kicked out of an app store, right? And nobody can really use it anymore because it got kicked out, right? So that's a scenario that I definitely want to avoid for my project, because it has literally my face on it. If you realize that, actually, if you look at the logo of high-tech, then you can notice that it's actually me. This guy here is actually me. So this is a lifetime project. This is not anything temporal. That's why, this project has been launched like almost a full year ago, 24th of March. So today is 23rd. So literally tomorrow it will complete 1 full year. At the beginning, you could get it at $1 when it was listed first on Radium, right? Because Radium is the exchange where you can get it, let's say. Initially on Radium, before it is visible, for example, on your Phantom wallet or anywhere, you actually have to go to Radium. Let me show it to you. So it's here, as you see, and you can exchange it for whatever you want, because this is a Solana meme coin, or actually coin. It used to be a meme coin. Now I don't really call it a meme coin anymore. So yeah, here you can acquire it. But before you acquire it, I highly suggest you to get familiar with what smart contracts are actually for, right? So just go and watch this tutorial, walk through, or at least, if for whatever reason, like for example, I don't know, maybe the internet where you are at is not working the best with YouTube, then download those how to buy high-tech, how to set up high-tech wallet, buy crypto using smart contract, or sell crypto using smart contract. Download those tutorials. They're not really that big in size when it comes to data, and just reading them, reading what is the flow, you will realize how it actually works, right? It will literally more or less explain you what is happening and how it secures the exchange, right? Here it's written buy crypto or sell crypto, but as a matter of fact, you can buy or sell whatever with it, not only crypto. So that's a huge difference when it comes to this project and any other projects, that this coin you can use in the real world, right? In real world scenario, you can use it as a real currency to actually get something done that normally you would not be able to get done, right? Because smart contracts, generally speaking, those contracts that are inbuilt here, they make scams impossible, right? So here you can create new contract or accept new contract. This mechanism here, it makes scams impossible, right? So whatever you want to buy at distance, if someone accepts smart contract, it means there is no way they can scam you. Unfortunately, to some, it means that you cannot scam neither. So neither side A or side B can come up with any scheme that would result in somebody's loss, right? So that's something super important. There's literally not even one other project in the entire world that offers something like this. So, whenever you want to put your money into something, it's super important that you put it into a project that solves a problem. Because if you think about it, what other projects actually have gained in value? It happened because they were solving a problem. Like, for example, Bitcoin. What problem Bitcoin has solved? Bitcoin has solved the problem of double spending, right? So double spending problem was the biggest problem that was stopping cypherpunks from creating something called digital money, right? So a money that is independent from a state, and money that people can exchange in between each other without any involvement of any institution or a state, right? So Bitcoin solved that, right? Double spending actually means that, before, if you wanted to create a digital cash, the problem was that you could copy it, and therefore you could spend it more than once, right? For example, twice. So that's why it was called double spending, right? So blockchain was the first technology that solved that. You cannot copy it and spend it, anywhere else, because blockchain protects, the whole math, the whole logic, the whole accounting, and you cannot spend twice the same token, right? So it was a huge revolution in that regard, right? It was a problem that the cypherpunks were struggling with for decades before. Like, I think it started at the end of the 80s when that idea came to mind of the first minds of the first cypherpunks. And later another one was Ethereum, right? Ethereum solved the problem of lack of programmability of money, right? So on Bitcoin, yeah, you could make a very, very simple program. Let's say program Bitcoin thanks to multisig, a technology that is called multisig, but it's very limited. It's very, very limited. So Ethereum was actually the first blockchain that allowed to make a real program with money, right? Decentralized program, right? And therefore apply some sort of decentralized application to it, right? So if decentralized world could work with decentralized world, right? Centralization with decentralization. In that case, of course, decentralized blockchain served as a actually kind of a database, right? But that's let's say highly technical, so let's do not go into it, too heavy. Another technology that solved a huge problem was Chainlink, right? So first, Bitcoin, huge appreciation from the beginning. Ethereum, huge growth in value from the beginning. And later Chainlink, huge, absolutely huge growth in price from the start. It was actually the only coin that was having its own, totally separated from everything, detached from everything, bull market throughout 2018, 2019. Was it already in 2018? To be honest, I don't remember when it was the launch, but nonetheless, it was having its very, very aggressive bull market when everything else, was underperforming, was doing really, really bad, right? So what's next, right? What's next after Bitcoin, after Ethereum, after Chainlink? Actually, in between, there was another coin that also solved quite a significant problem, and that was Monero, right? So Monero solved the problem of privacy, right? So the blockchains that we use today, they are fully transparent. So if somebody sends you a tip, you can go to the address that just you received the tip from, and look it up, right? What that person actually has, how much they have of funds and such. So that's a problem, right? Because I mean, if you receive or you send a tip to somebody over the internet, they don't know where you live, you know, who you are, you know, where you spend your free time. That's not a problem. But the problem is if they know your surroundings, they know you personally, because then, you know, stupid ideas can come to their head. If, for example, you have a significant amount of crypto, right? So that's literally it poses a huge danger if handled in a wrong way, right? So Monero was solving that problem. Monero also, you know, it went from literally practically zero to huge evaluations. The all-time high was actually above $800. Right now it's not as high, but, you know, from $0 to $800 per coin, that's quite something. And high tech solves another problem, which is a huge problem in the crypto world, which is who pays first, right? If you order something over the internet and you pay in crypto, who pays first, right? Or who sends the product first? Who pays first? So this is a huge problem, because, you know, it's very easy to stumble upon somebody that will promise you, you know, you never seen that person ever in your life, and they will be promising you, yeah, of course, yeah, I'm honest, yeah, I'm a good vendor, 100% I will send you the product that you're buying. You send the money, and they will, you know, block you on Telegram or whatever other application. You will never hear from them. Sometimes even if they had like a website, the website will disappear, right? After you paid. If you paid enough, for example, I don't know, like $500, $600, $700 for a phone or something. In some cases, you know, they go as far as they even delete the website that was literally for this one-time scam, right? So high tech solves that problem completely, right? So generally speaking, blockchain solves the problem of separation money from the state, right? So now we have a free money that state does not have any sort of control over it. So that's a super important stuff. But still, you know, once you paid in it, you had no guarantee that you will receive what you paid for. So that's a huge problem, okay? And that's not a problem only of crypto. That's a problem of the world right now. Because even if you are using, like, I don't know, MasterCard or Visa, even though you have something like a cashback mechanism, right? You still can get scammed. Listen, on P2P, for example, Binance P2P or any other P2P, crypto P2P platform, like, I don't know, Bybit or BitGet or whichever, especially in the age of AI, right? People get scammed on the daily basis. Like, literally. Listen, people even sell accounts that you know, have gained a lot of reputation. After a while, the owners of those accounts, they sell those accounts, right, to scammers. Why? Because, you know, like, whenever you want to convert crypto to cash, let's say, you want to, you know, transact with somebody who is highly scored on I don't know, Binance P2P or BitGet P2P or whichever other you know, type of a platform where there is arbitration, right? Because on the problem of those platforms is that there is arbitration. So the arbitrator is a person, right, that steps in whenever two sides disagree, you know, in what just happened. Arbitrator comes in, and he, as a human being, decides, okay, so what do we do? Who is trying to, you know, steal the money? And if the scammer is really skilled, you know, they will be sending them confirmation of payment that were generated with AI, and they will steal the money. And listen, 30% of all scams on the whole of internet happens on P2P market, right? So like Binance P2P, BitGet P2P, Bybit P2P, all that type of markets, it happens 30% of all scams of the internet. So high tech completely makes it impossible. Listen, when it comes to high tech MAD, nobody ever, if they're a scammer, they will never agree to use high tech MAD, MAD, as a payment method, because there is no way you can scam there. There is literally no scheme that you can come up with that will allow a scammer to scam, right? So that's solving not only the problem of how to convert crypto to fiat in a safe manner, right? But also it's solving general transacting, the problem of general transacting, right? Well, purchases, at distance, even face to face, right? Even if face to face, you buy something with MAD contract, it has you covered, right? Because let's say you go to a shop, to a store, to buy a phone, right? That can be stolen from you when you leave the shop, especially if in some countries, right? I think that's especially valid for African countries, right? You go sometimes to a little bit, less crowded, let's say, district. You buy a phone, you leave the premises of the shop, and you may stumble upon some thugs that will ask you for the phone, right? So that are actually related to the shop, to the shop owner, because the shop owner can say, listen, this guy came to me, he bought such and such phone, take it away from him, right? So with MAD contract, you can enter the store, take the phone, leave the store with the phone, while the owner of the shop or the seller hasn't received the payment yet, and both of you are okay with it, because both of you know if nobody is planning anything silly, things are going to go well, because the MAD contract protects both sides, right? So it's applicable to many scenarios. It's even applicable to a scenario in which somebody promises you something that is not related to money. You can actually use MAD contract to enforce that somebody keeps their word, right? If they give you their word, you can literally make a MAD contract, and with the use of MAD contract, you can be protected, you can be assured that the word will be kept, right? So that's mind-blowing. That's absolutely mind-blowing, right? So that there is so many applications of this coin that literally are nowhere to be seen anywhere else, and that's everything to MAD contract, right? So that's why I have absolutely no doubt it's going to be an absolute explosion. The only obstacle here is, so enough people know about this project, and that's it. The equation here is very simple, right? If anybody has any questions, of course you can ask. When it comes to some accusation that people sometimes, let's say, throw in my direction, like for example, the supplies is very big against the circulating supply. So my answer to that is Bitcoin at the beginning was the same, right? So if somebody says something like this, throws something like this my direction, that means they do not know the history. Because, like for example, the supply Satoshi Nakamoto still has, could nail the market to the floor many times over for the first few years. That's his historical fact, right? Actually, every single creator that their project succeeded at the beginning had a large supply, right? Every single was holding a large supply. So here, this is literally no exception from the rule. So if somebody is telling me that that means this project has to be some sort of a scam, they have no idea what they are talking about, because they don't know the basic history of crypto and how it was done from the beginning, right? As a matter of fact, this actually means that I have high incentive to make this project work, right? In many cases, for example, some coins that's supposed to have some functionality that usually is very, very silly, and it's like, from the very beginning is not going to work, because there is literally no way of executing it, making the idea work, right? But usually they make it in few people, and the problem is, if you make a project in few people and you redistribute, for example, the coin to few people, it's enough if one people starts to doubt what they are doing and starts to dump on the market, and the rest cannot do anything anymore, right? Because usually, the supply is quite large, the liquidity at the beginning is nearly non-existent, so it's enough if one person starts to dump, and that wipes out literally, everything, right? And kills the work of the rest. So in this case, there is only one person, that's me, and it's the path of the least benefit to me to dump this market. The least benefit. That's how I lose money, not make money, and that's how I've been doing it from the beginning. I've been cultivating this market. I've been talking about this market. I gave it the hardest use case in the crypto world up to date. If you know of any harder use case, you tell me, but I highly doubt you are going to find anything like this. And it's just the beginning, right? It's literally just the beginning of growth for this market, right? Because right now there is very little coin in circulation. The liquidity is tiny. The factual market cap of this coin is actually its liquidity, so it's very, very tiny. So given how useful it is, given how small the factual market cap is, that contains that actually translates to the circulating supply, or comes from the circulating supply. It's hard to imagine. Like, people sometimes ask me how much this coin can cost. I have no idea. But definitely, I will be definitely not surprised if it goes 10x, 100x from here, or 1000x from here. That's literally within the realm of possibilities. 10x, I think, is conservative, very, very conservative. 100x, definitely possible. 1000x, absolutely possible, because the circulating supply is very, very small, right? And even if there are some, let's say, more sizable holders, those guys, they understand what I'm doing, right? So they are not posing any sort of a threat to this market, right? So at the beginning, there was some up and downs, but that's absolutely normal. It does not matter, what class of investors you get at the beginning. You will have a little bit of volatility. It's pretty much impossible to completely erase. But over time, it becomes more stable. And yeah, as you see, the trajectory is up, right? When we take it from here to here, it is a huge amount of growth, from $1 to 211 as we speak, over 200x. So it's absolute madness. Many people that bought in at the beginning, they were writing me in the DMs that they never had experienced anything like this. And no wonder, because how many of you guys have experienced 100x or 200x, right? So I introduced to that experience quite a large, group of people, and now I'm introducing even more to the same experience, because this, what you look at right now, is still nothing. Like, literally from $1 to here, the difference against what future holds for this project is negligible. right? It doesn't matter if you get in this market now, or I don't know, at any other lower price. It doesn't really matter, because from here the upside potential is so absurd that it will still do the job, right? But I'm not going to tell you that it's going to happen tomorrow. No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. It will happen gradually, right? We are talking about upcoming years, right? So that's how the real projects work. If you want, quick pump, then go to pump fund, but then you are going to lose money there. You will not know what to do with it. You will be holding on to the pump while it's growing, and then suddenly it will collapse. It will wipe out all of your gains, and you will lose your money. Those projects are not real, right? Those projects are meant to pump once and grab your money and disappear. And this one here is a real project, right? So you can easily treat it as that you just discovered Bitcoin when it was $200, right? So imagine that. That's how it should be treated. And Bitcoin, let me remind you, Bitcoin did not grow from zero to well over $70,000 as of now in 1 week, in 1 month, in 1 year. No, it took some time. But was it worth it? Absolutely, it was worth it, right? to buy and hold. In this case, actually, what I most encourage you people to do is to use it. I mean, of course, you can have some holdings, because to use smart contracts you actually need high tech. You need to have high tech in order to use smart contract, right? Which is the killer feature of this coin. Absolute killer feature that changes everything about how you interact in the world of transactions, right? This is something that will popularize throughout the whole world, right? Like, let's say 2 years from now, 3 years from now, it will be very easy to find merchants accepting smart contracts. It will be very, very easy. And like in China, I don't know, in India, whatever, in Africa, in Europe, in North America, South America, you name it, right? Why? Because this is literally, this system here is the only one that gives you 100% certainty that nobody will run away with your money. Until everything is resolved, both sides agree the deal went well, nobody is running away with anything, right? It's just literally impossible. Guys, I see you are not writing anything in the chat. I highly encourage you to ask questions if you've got any, because it's always easy to forget about some things that I should have said and I didn't say. Here I see you don't ask any, because this is, after all, this is AMA, right? AMA, ask me anything. It's actually not for me to talk to you. Is for you guys to ask me questions, right? And so far, okay, the people who figured this out early are going to be so far ahead paying attention. Yeah, that's what Sarah has written, and I agree. I absolutely agree. And so, especially, in the context of what is going on in the broad crypto market, this is Bitcoin chart. And believe me or not, but looks like the bear market is over. So that means, all of the content I create, and I create quite a lot of content. I have 2 YouTube channels. One is actually fairly small, but another one is doing very well, and it's this one. It's this one here. And this is a YouTube channel I run in my mother tongue. And this one is watched by quite a lot of people. Because as you see, monthly audience is 11,000 people, so that's quite a lot. There was a little bit of decline recent month, but it's because of geopolitical tensions and stuff, and people believe that the crypto market is not where you should be, which is actually the opposite. The more interest falls in the crypto market, the more you should actually participate in it, because the closer you are to the bottom. So yeah, at some point, when the FOMO comes back, and it will come back, because we are literally at the pivoting point right now in the crypto market. That people, which are Europeans, here we are talking about Europeans, right? And actually, my crowd, when we talk about the ranks, like what category of people from Europe are highly scored investors, my people are in the top 10. In the top 10, right? So once they decide, okay, now is the time to throw my money at the crypto market, you will see it. You will see it on this chart. You will see it on this chart in a big way, right? So all I can advise you, like if you want to be an investor, all I can advise you is have at least a little bit here before it goes beyond imagination. If for example you are tied with money, or even if you're not tied with money, always if you are invest in whatever, make sure it's not too much, right? It's very important thing, very important information, education about investing. You should always invest as much as you can forget about. On the internet, the YouTube influencers, they tell you should invest as much as you can afford to lose. No, false. Absolutely false. You should invest as much as you can afford to forget about. If you invest like that, it's going to work 100%. But you cannot throw it into absolute garbage, right? And unfortunately, meme coin market is a garbage market. It's a market designed for you to throw the money in and not get it out, right? Because those are not real projects. They offer no functionality. There is no vision behind it. There is no long-term thought behind it. That is why the average lifespan of a meme coin is what, like a few days maybe, and that's it. This project tomorrow is going to fulfill 1 full year since its inception, and as you see, is nowhere near the zero. Nowhere near the zero, right? So it's up to you. It's up to you. If somebody thinks that, oh, okay, Heidegger, but why should I trust you? Here is the proof. Here is the proof how worth of a trust I am. Because this token has started at $1, right? In 1 year, it did not go to from $307 back to, I don't know, $1 or to 1 cent. No, it's on upward trajectory, right? So and on top of that, just at the beginning of January, I added to this project the most useful functionality in crypto, period, right? So if that does not explain why as a creator I'm a trustworthy, nothing will explain it, right? And on top of that, you can talk to me like literally every single day. You can write something on my YouTube channel, or I don't know, write with me on Telegram channel. You can write with me on X, so you have live contact with me, something that is very rare in the crypto world, right? So some people say, oh, but you don't show face. Bro, you are in the industry that was created by a guy nobody knows how he looks like, okay? So if that's your argument, then you just completely do not use your head, right? Because it's dangerous in this sector to show yourself and to post about how much money you have. And those that did not know about it, they're not with us anymore. Trust me, there's a whole army of people that stepped over to another side because they didn't think, right? In the crypto sphere, is very, very responsible to show yourself and boast about how much money you have. So yeah, so at the end of the day, is all about trust. It doesn't really matter, what are the how well known the project is. Like, for example, Bitcoin, right? If Satoshi Nakamoto dumped his 1 million Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not going to be standing well, right? It's going to get knocked off if Satoshi Nakamoto dumps all of his Bitcoins. And Bitcoin is definitely the most trusted cryptocurrency out there. There is nothing else that has gained more trust than Bitcoin, right? So at the end of the day, there is that trust component, but there are also hints. Should I trust or should I not trust? And in my humble opinion, the best proof is how the chart looks like, how old it is, what is the functionality of the coin, like what is the proposition of value here, right? What is the market it wants to absorb, right? So the market that high tech is aiming to absorb in 2025 had $30 billion of volume, right? Here we have so far $304 of volume last 24 hours. So imagine this market when it has $30 billion of volume, right? So I have no idea how high the price will be, when that comes. And me, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that day will come, right? So all I can say is be here before anybody else who realizes how big of an opportunity it is, because it's very easy to spot. I mean, if you listen to what I say, all of it is very easy to check. Try out Math Contract. Watch the tutorial that is on the official website. Dedicate your time. That's 30 minutes, right? Only 30 minutes. Dedicate your time to watch it from A to Z. Make sure you understand it. And it cannot be any simpler. If you do not understand high tech, unfortunately, you will never find a project that will make you money because you don't have the capacity to understand a good opportunity. And there is a solid chunk of people that are like that. So you are not going to be alone. But if you have that capacity, then definitely 30 minutes is not overly too much to invest in, to make sure that what they are standing in front of here is a real deal, right? So hey guys, give me a follow if you watch it. If you watch it live, I see you do not ask any questions. I think I have said all I wanted to say. On the Telegram, I don't see you guys ask any question neither. And yeah, join my community. You can find the Telegram group. On the website. On the website you can find the Telegram group. Where is it? Join the Telegram right here, right? So, generally speaking, go to the official website. Oh, and another thing, one more thing I wanted to add, because some people tell me, oh, but why are you using free domain, right? Because I want this project to be as decentralized as possible. I want this project to function without me. Even if I, from today to tomorrow, I disappear, I want this project to function. So if I buy a domain and I use commercial domain, and for whatever reason I'm out, who's going to pay for the domain, right? So that would make this project highly dependent on if I'm in existence or not. And this is not how a decentralized project should work. A decentralized project should be able to go on, live on, without the creator, right? That's a really decentralized project. not any other that needs a dev team, to be fine, to be looking after things and such, right? So that's why I think it's a completely wrong standard among crypto projects that they made a brand out of certain branch of domains, right? Which are usually .io, right? If you have .io, then people think it's a legitimate project, which is very funny because what? Scammers don't know about it? Of course they know about it. And first they do is they purchase a domain with .io, right? Because they want to be legitimate in your eyes, right? So that's, there's on multiple levels thinking like that is just very, very silly and without any deeper consideration. So yeah, guys, so that's it. Give me a like, give me a follow. If you have any questions, then join my Telegram group, which is on the website here, as you see. Join Telegram, and I will definitely be answering there extensively. If there's any other doubts that you want to clear out, it will get that done there too. So yeah. So thank you guys for your time, and hopefully I talk to you on the Telegram group or maybe on my next AMA.